I was inspired by another creator online. They say, when you're not inspired, you don't know what to do. Just get up and draw. So I never planned on inking this, but I need to practice. And so I was told this looks like a droid, and it does. It's a guy in a suit. It's a suit. I decided to continue on with the markers versus using. I really don't have to worry about the smear like that. I mean, there's some smears because I've smeared this before. I just gotta be careful. The whole other thing, I think the markers is more expensive because they don't cost too much, but like they run out. I mean, the ink runs out, but it's not that expensive. Ink is really cheap. I don't know why. It's called Indian ink. I mean, I don't know if it really comes from India. Maybe initially, when all this started, it did, and maybe there are other companies that make that quality of ink, and it's just all called Indian ink. I'm not gonna ink every part. I'm not gonna ink the hand and the foot. It's just showing up close details of what the suit looked like, which is hard to see in this blue. I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it. I mean, if you want me to ink it, for anybody that's paying attention to this, because you want to get the details, I guess I could do it. I don't plan on doing it though. I'm just doing the figure, not for fun. It's like a warm up. I forgot sometimes when you're on the road to being a professional artist, you just gotta warm it up. Pause. I might be the only comic book artist that's using pause. I don't care. Repping pause to the death, son. I just think it's funny. Like, I don't mean any disrespect. Hope no one gets offended. I just find it hilarious. Just, because a lot of people do the pause thing and they're like completely serious. I'm not serious. It's just funny. Like when you're with the right group of people, it can be the funniest thing ever. You know, but it's not funny when you're with someone that takes it serious on one side or the other. People who might get offended by hearing it, or people who are just like so phobic, like you can't say anything around them. Like, chill, bro. It's not that deep. See, I like the idea of like shading the helmet because the helmet is kind of sort of like a black helmet, but it's sort of see through, sort of, and it's reflective. So I like the idea of like it being so reflective that you can see like shading of the face. I think this is two facial. This right here up top, I like this. I like this. It's just like, okay, we can see where the eye is. I don't want to make it like this where it's like, okay, they're a little too expressive. But I might, like I was doing some rough drafts for pages, and I kind of did a thing where, in the old Spider-Man book, he'll have his mask on, but for the audience, they'll do like a split down the middle of the mask and show half his face to show his facial expression, and that would be a thing in old Spider-Man comics. I don't think I haven't seen that in a while, but I'm not reading Spider-Man comics. Hold on one second. I'm making tea, but I'm not gonna be sipping the tea on the live. I tried that before. It sounds horrible. It's disgusting. All you hear is slurping on the live. Pause. Big gulps. So it's like a light armor, but then you got the kind of like a vest on it. It does have kind of like a stormtrooper-esque look, and I like that about it. It also reminds me of the Cronin guy from the Hellboy movies. I don't remember his full name, but that's what we're doing. Oh, good morning. I didn't see y'all. I apologize if you're still there. I don't, I'm busy drawing, so I'm not looking at what people are saying. I'm slow. So yes, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Usually I do these and people like just jump in and jump out, but I appreciate all the love. Actually, this is the most people I've had on here ever. Is this the time to get on live early in the morning? Got some little pouches. They connected to the suit. They don't come off. Need to do the holsters for the gun. I did that wrong, but it's too late. This is just a little practice run. It'll look better when I get to doing it in the. I was going to say the show, the series, and the book. And it's a group of these guys, you know, they're called crows, CRO, covert response operatives. It's kind of like, I know the crows are the Game of Thrones. It's one of those situations where, and I came up with this years ago, and the problem with working on a project for so long and developing it for so long is so much stuff comes out, and then you start seeing like parallel concepts and names, and it's like, oh snap, should I change? And I'm like, no, like I got a thank you very much. I got a series called Bloody Knuckles, right? So two things happened. First thing happened was it's a comic book called the DMZ. I used to see it in stores all the time. Never bought it, never looked at it. What I thought was like the title lettering was cool. I like, oh, that looks cool. I kept meaning to check it out. I'm not trying to down it, but it got turned into a show for Netflix starring Rosario Dawson. And my wife was watching it at first, so I started watching it. And she didn't even finish it. I just finished it. But I'm like, it's not my book, but it's so close, the premise. I'm like, they made my book. Like, I almost gave up on Bloody Knuckles because the premise to DMZ, not even like the narrative, just like, because it's like a demilitarized zone or something. So it was just something like that, where it's like, oh no. Like, oh my God. I gotta scrap my book and make something new. But I'm like, nah, screw that. Because in truth, the narrative is so different. Though it might be similar, because like even with people might think my book is similar to I was gonna call it League of Legends. Arcane. And I saw parallels too there. Cause it's kinda like, this dystopian future groups versus each other type thing. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty close. But I feel like my art style, my writing, my narrative, and my characters are so unique that it'll stand out. So it's like, and it's a lot of stuff that's like other stuff. So don't get discouraged. You know, I often tell people when I give advice to other people, I tell them don't get discouraged because there's nothing new under the sun. Anything that you thought of has been done already, or is currently being done, or will be done. But you shouldn't feel like, oh, it's this arms race to get my stuff out. Just do your thing. Be honest and be genuine in your storytelling, and your originality will show through your voice. So it's not like making some new, never before genre. You know, I don't think that's really possible. I don't think nobody should strive for that. What I think we should be doing is just like, okay, here's this. It's more like a stew, right? You take all these ingredients and you mix it in the stew, but you make the stew your way, and everybody got their own stew recipe. So the genres are like the ingredients. We can all use the same ingredients. We can all use tomatoes, but I might use more tomatoes or less tomatoes. I might not put no tomatoes at all, or I like to throw onions, some cilantro, and I don't want to start naming food stuff that I really don't know what I'm talking about because I can't cook. So, you know, but we all get the analogy. Yeah, sometimes these things run out too quick. And I'm like, oh snap, what I do to help me compensate, your boy got the Sharpies. So it was like, get in here. I was telling the story how when I first started using Sharpies, like I started bleeding from the throat and shit because I was the first time I sat there for a 4 hour session, just Sharpie and filling in all the space. And I'm breathing in the marker. I started coughing up blood and shit. But since then, I've gotten used to it. I've adapted to the poison from the chemicals in the Sharpie. So it's fine. I didn't get cancer or nothing like that. So it's totally okay. Can no Sharpie kill me, son? From Chicago, son. I want to say I'm from Brooklyn, but it's not true. It just sounds better. I don't know. It's weird. Like when people say like they from boroughs and you in New York, it's kind of like a compliment. But saying you from Chicago is like a threat to everybody else around you. That's usually because that's usually when people say they from Chicago. It's when somebody else is getting tough with them, so they throw it in there. I'm from Chicago. It's like what? All right. But to the unseasoned person, that's like, oh, he's from Chicago, the place where everybody kills everybody. I'm gonna leave him alone. So just by association, this person may be dangerous. 9 times out of 10, if somebody's saying that to you, I mean, they might hit you. They might not be that dangerous. I mean, just stand up to them. They're just being a bully. In my experience, real dangerous people are the nicest people. They're respectful and they really don't mess with people unless they're being threatened. The loud person is scared and they trying to scare you before you do something to them because they feel threatened for whatever reason. Or maybe the ladies like you more than that person. So they're hating. Oh man, my numbers dwindled. Now it's down to one. And we don't want to hear you talk, son. Just draw. ASMR, that's what they call. They want to hear the sound. It's the sound everybody after is relaxing. Put people to sleep. Hypnotize. It's like the teacup from Get Out. I'm just trying to possess you with cool art. Buy my books. Go to Amazon. Look up the volume series, volume 1, 2, and 3 by Donnie Morris. Okay, I did that quick. I draw quick. This is how I get down. I draw really quick. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to stop it here. Take a good look. This is the standard issue Crow tactical suit for hunting supernatural stuff. Sometimes, cults and terrorist groups, but they covert. Inside the helmet, it's kind of got like a Tony Stark setup. They see displays. They can get fed information from home base. They got the comms in the helmet. Um, it's kind of resistant to some magics. It's resistant to psionic attacks. slightly. A powerful telepath could just get in there, but like the average one, trying to it's telekinetic resistant too, but it's slightly, it's hard to make it fully, so like, but some of the characters got their own situations going on. So like, dealing with the crows, a weak telekinetic will have trouble just throwing their bodies around. They got they got a little bit of shielding on there. It's typically bulletproof unless it's something like super big. They got the cloaking, and then it's got the got the wings. It's a lot of stuff like that. It could do anything. Watch out. And just wearing the suit, it gives the body slight physical enhancements and speed, strength. So yeah, that's the crow. All right, peace. Oops, that's not how you turn that off.